By the end of this lesson, you will understand how to use 10 phrasal verbs with go to talk about everyday situations. This will greatly help your conversational English, so you can speak with confidence. The lesson works like this. First, you will listen to a very short story that uses these phrasal verbs. Listen to it twice. Once for fun, and the second time, try to notice the phrasal verbs. Then I will list them, teach you what they mean, and give you more examples. Let's get started. Here's the story. Anna had been planning her weekend getaway for weeks. She was excited to go on a short trip to the countryside to relax and unwind. On Friday afternoon, as she was packing her bags, she went over her checklist to make sure she had everything. Clothes, toiletries, her book, everything was in order. Just as she was about to leave, her friend Lisa called to ask if she could go through the travel details one more time. Anna quickly went through the itinerary with Lisa, explaining where they would stay and what they planned to do. After the call, she grabbed her bags and headed to the train station. As she was waiting for her train, Anna realized she might go over her budget if she didn't watch her spending during the trip. She decided to be mindful of her expenses, especially since they planned to go out for dinner at a fancy restaurant on Saturday night. When Anna finally arrived at the cottage, she was exhausted but happy to be there. The next morning, she went out for a walk in the nearby woods. The scenery was beautiful, and she couldn't help but feel at peace. However, as she was walking, she accidentally went off the main trail and got a little lost. After a few minutes of wandering, she managed to find her way back to the path. Later that evening, Lisa suggested they go over to the local pub to check out the live music. Anna agreed, and they spent the night enjoying the music and chatting with the locals. The weekend went by quickly, and before they knew it, it was time to head back home. On the train ride back, Anna and Lisa talked about how they couldn't wait to go on another trip soon. In that story, we used 10 phrasal verbs with the word go. Did you notice them? Let's go through each one, understand what they mean, and see how they're used in different contexts. The first phrasal verb is go on. In the story, Anna was excited to go on a short trip to the countryside. Go on means to proceed with an activity or event, often referring to starting or continuing something. For example, you might say, they decided to go on with the plan despite the rain, or she's going on a business trip next week. The second phrasal verb is go over. As Anna was packing, she went over her checklist to make sure she had everything. Go over means to review or examine something carefully. For example, please go over your answers before submitting the test. Or, he went over the contract before signing it. The third phrasal verb is go through. Anna went through the itinerary with Lisa, explaining their plans. Go through means to examine or discuss something in detail. For example, let's go through the details of the project before we start. Or, she went through the instructions carefully. The fourth phrasal verb is go out. Anna and Lisa planned to go out for dinner at a fancy restaurant. Go out means to leave your home to go somewhere, usually for social activities. For example, they're going out to see a movie tonight. Or, we should go out for a drink after work. The fifth phrasal verb is go over. Anna realized she might go over her budget during the trip. Go over in this context means to exceed a limit or boundary, often related to spending. For example, don't go over the speed limit on this road. Or, he went over his budget on the renovation. The sixth phrasal verb is go off. During her walk, Anna accidentally went off the main trail. Go off means to leave a place or path, often unintentionally. For example, he went off course during the race. Or, the dog went off into the woods. The seventh phrasal verb is go back. After getting lost, Anna managed to go back to the path. Go back means to return to a previous place or situation. For example, I need to go back to the store because I forgot something. Or, they went back to their hometown after many years. The 8th phrasal verb is go over to. Lisa suggested they go over to the local pub to check out the live music. Go over to means to visit or move towards a specific place. For example, let's go over to Sarah's house this evening. Or, he went over to the neighbours to borrow some tools. The 9th phrasal verb is go out. This time it's used again when Anna and Lisa decided to go out for the evening. Just like before, go out refers to leaving home to engage in a social activity. For example, we're going out dancing tonight, or she loves to go out with her friends on weekends. The 10th phrasal verb is go on. At the end of the story, Anna and Lisa talked about how they couldn't wait to go on another trip soon. Here, go on again means to embark on an activity or trip. For example, they're planning to go on a road trip next summer, or he's going on a hiking adventure next month. These phrasal verbs with go are common in everyday English, and by understanding them, you can improve your ability to communicate effectively in various situations. Try using them in your own conversations to get more comfortable with how they work. Thank you for taking this lesson. Check out the description for more lessons like this. Keep learning English.